3 tips to become mentally strong. You will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger, said the Buddha. These words remind us that true strength is not found in conquering others, but in mastering ourselves. In this video from Dharma Pulse, we will explore 3 timeless Buddhist principles that can help you become mentally strong and unshakable, no matter what life throws at you. As you listen, I invite you to reflect. How often do you let the storms of praise or blame disturb your inner peace? Share your thoughts in the comments below, because your perspective may be the spark that inspires someone else on their path. Tip 1. Stay stable. Through life's ups and downs, life constantly unfolds through what Buddhism calls the 8 worldly conditions: praise and blame, gain and loss, fame and disgrace, pleasure and pain. These are not accidents of fate, but currents of existence that sweep us from one shore to another. A mind without training is like a fragile boat on rough waters, easily capsized by praise, quickly sunk by blame, inflated by gain, and devastated by loss. The Buddha compared the wise person to a rock unmoved by the storm. This image is not simply poetic. It is the essence of resilience. A strong mind remains balanced when applause comes, and equally balanced when criticism strikes. It does not cling tightly to pleasure, nor resist pain with panic. The storm is still there, but the mountain does not tremble. In our modern world, these conditions are amplified by speed and visibility. One day, your achievements are celebrated. The next, they are buried under criticism. Social media magnifies fame and disgrace in an instant, and our identity rises and falls with every comment, like, or rejection. Without mindfulness, we become prisoners of these fluctuations, enslaved to the vibrations of the external world. The more you chase pleasure, the more pain frightens you. The more you hold on to gain, the more loss haunts you. This endless oscillation weakens the spirit. Mindfulness is the antidote. Far from being a relaxation technique, mindfulness is the razor that cuts through illusion. It allows you to witness emotions as they arise: the swell of pride when praised, the sting of defensiveness when blamed, the tight grip of desire when pleasure appears, and the recoil when pain knocks at the door. Awareness does not erase emotion. It creates distance, and in that distance, freedom is born. Psychology aligns with this truth. Emotional balance comes not from suppression, but from conscious recognition. Neuroscience confirms that mindful observation shifts activity in the brain from reactive centers to areas of higher reasoning and wisdom. In other words, mindfulness rewires you, lifting you from instinctual reactivity to conscious response. Energy science gives another perspective. Your inner state is a vibration, and when it fluctuates wildly according to external triggers, it remains unstable and fragmented. But when you train your mind to remain steady, your frequency becomes consistent and elevated. People sense this energy even without understanding it. You radiate a calm that commands respect. This stability is cultivated in ordinary moments. When praised, notice the ego's quiet whisper claiming superiority. When criticized, notice the surge of anger demanding defense. Do not fight these impulses, simply observe them. Observation loosens their grip. Each time you practice this, you grow roots like a tree, deeper and stronger, until no storm can tear you from the ground. Buddhism reminds us that all external things are impermanent. Fame fades, pleasure dissolves, loss and gain alternate like night and day. If your sense of self depends on these shifting tides, you will never find rest. But if you root yourself in awareness, you stand on the eternal ground of the present moment. In that place, stability is not borrowed from circumstance. It is your nature itself. To be mentally strong is not to avoid the storm, but to walk through it unshaken. It is freedom from the chains of praise and blame, freedom from the fear of loss, freedom from the illusions of pleasure and pain. It is the strength of the rock, the serenity of the mountain, the clarity of the sky. This is the first and most essential step on the path of mindfulness that Buddhism has handed down for centuries. Tip 2. Build resilience and focus on what you can control. Resilience is not simply the ability to endure. It is the power to rise again without being shattered by life's storms. Buddhist wisdom shows us that a resilient mind is like a mountain rooted in the earth, unshaken by wind, rain, or thunder. It stands firm no matter what comes. In a world filled with uncertainty, judgment, and chaos, strength begins with a simple shift. Stop trying to control what is beyond you and master what lies within. How much suffering have you created by replaying someone else's words, worrying about their opinions, or clinging to expectations that were never yours to control? Praise and blame, gain and loss, love and rejection, all of these pass like shadows. The question is, will you allow your peace of mind to rise and fall with them? Or will you build your foundation on something deeper and unshakable? To be mentally strong means to see clearly where your power begins and ends. You cannot control the storms of life, but you can control the way you set your sails. Other people's choices, their moods, their respect or disrespect are not yours to command. What you can command are your thoughts, your actions, and your mindset. This inner kingdom is your true possession, yet most of us abandon it while wasting energy on the uncontrollable. Meditation is the discipline that brings you back to this sacred ground. Each breath is a reminder that the present moment is your domain. Each time your mind drifts to anger or fear, you return, training yourself to hold calmness as your default state. In this way, the chaos of the world loses its power. Because you are no longer a servant to it, you become its observer. Think of how often you have drained yourself by fighting unwinnable battles. A harsh comment that echoes in your mind for days. A relationship that ended yet still haunts you. A disappointment that you replay like a broken record. This is like trying to fill a jar that has no bottom. The more energy you pour in, the more it empties you. Buddhist wisdom tells us that energy is precious, and wasting it on the uncontrollable is the surest path to exhaustion. What if you reclaim that energy and redirected it toward clarity, compassion, and growth? Your life would transform, not because the world changed, but because you stopped fighting against its impermanence and began flowing with it. Even modern science agrees with this ancient truth. Resilient people are not those who live without hardship. They are the ones who respond without panic. They face reality, accept what cannot be changed, and focus only on the next wise step. Imagine a surgeon in the middle of an operation. If they collapse into fear, when complications arise, disaster follows. But by keeping calm and addressing only what can be done, they turn crisis into clarity. Your own life works the same way. Resilience is not blind endurance, but intelligent endurance, the kind that sees the root cause, accepts impermanence, and responds with clarity instead of fear. So the real question is this: how much longer will you waste your power chasing control over things that were never yours. And how much stronger would you become if you poured all that energy into mastering yourself? True strength is not bending the world to your will, but building a mind so steady that no wind, no word, no loss can destroy your balance. Resilience is the quiet courage to stand up each time you fall, to focus on what you can control, and to meet impermanence not with despair, but with wisdom. This is the path of mental strength, and the doorway is always open for those willing to walk it. Tip 3. Practice self-love and self-compassion. True strength is never born from anger or rudeness, but from the quiet, steady fire of self-love and self-compassion that allows you to walk through life untouchable by the storms of others. When you protect your peace, you refuse to carry the heavy weight of other people's negativity, and this is where true healing begins. Think of your inner world as a sacred temple. Each morning, before stepping into the noise of the world, you must cleanse it, sweep away the dust of fear, resentment, and yesterday's burdens so that your energy remains pure and light. Without this daily act of cleansing, your temple fills with shadows that do not belong to you, and soon you find yourself living in darkness that was never yours to carry. Spirituality is the practice of remembering that your well-being matters more than any external judgment, and that peace is a choice made again and again in the face of provocation. The Buddha compared the wise to a great rock, unmoved by the wind, unshaken by both praise and blame. Can you imagine living this way, calm, steady, radiant, no longer a prisoner of others' moods? Society often functions like an invisible cage, training you to seek validation, to measure your worth by external approval. But self-compassion is the key that unlocks that cage and returns you to freedom. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Every time you choose not to react, you are reclaiming this power, reminding yourself that nothing outside has the authority to dictate your inner state. Your mind is like a river. If you cling to every insult or criticism, the waters become clouded and heavy. But if you allow negativity to pass through and wash away, the river flows clear and strong, nourishing all that it touches. Starting each day with the intention to love yourself is like polishing a mirror until it shines. The more you practice, the more you see your true reflection, untouched by the hands of others, luminous and whole. Buddha himself said, "You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection." This is not mere comfort, but a radical act of strength. For a world that thrives on your self-doubt does not know what to do when you finally embrace your own worth. Ask yourself, how often do you give away your peace by reacting to the chaos around you? How many times have you let someone else's storm become your storm? Every moment you do, you surrender a piece of your freedom. But when you choose self-love, when you practice self-compassion, you anchor yourself in an unshakable center, like a mountain unmoved by the howl of the wind. This is what it means to be truly strong, not to harden your heart, but to keep it soft and uncorrupted, to walk through life carrying love rather than bitterness. In the end, strength is not in fighting others, but in protecting your light, keeping your energy clear, and living each day as if your soul were the rarest jewel, too precious to be wasted on anger or resentment. As we walk together through these 3 Buddhist principles of mental strength, Let this not remain just knowledge, but a daily practice. Your presence here shows that you are ready to strengthen your mind and spirit. Comment below. I choose to become mentally strong every day as a declaration of your commitment. Now let us step forward with clarity and courage into the next stage of this journey. As we explored today, the Buddha teaches us that true mental strength lies not in controlling the storms of life, but in standing unshaken, like a great rock, before both praise and blame. By practicing detachment from fleeting emotions, cultivating mindfulness, and embracing wisdom, we can grow beyond weakness and step into clarity and resilience. Imagine how your life could transform if you applied even one of these principles each day. What does mental strength mean to you personally? Share your reflections in the comments below. And if this message from Dharma Pulse has inspired you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join our journey into deeper understanding and growth.